This session will give you insight about the industry, especially for both civil and mechanical students. See, you can have an opportunity to work in AIMS. This is one of the premier industry. Okay, you just Google it, you will come to know what are there, what they are into. Okay, now that is going to give some insight about the industries, especially for engineers like you, mechanical, civil. Okay, take advantage of this. You can note down some of the things. Okay, and if you have any time, if you need any doubts with respect to the industries and manufacturing sector, you can discuss with him. So,
yeah, thank you very much, sir. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having me here. I thank the management, SVIT, for inviting me to take this session on powering progress advanced materials. As a machine tool person, we use metals to build machines, and at the same time, any type of metal, either non-metal metals in the world used, even the items fitted in the projector has been machined on our machine. Any two-wheeler, four-wheeler aeroplanes runs in our country, maybe maximum percentage of components made on our machines. It may be a metal, non-metal, ceramic, or whatever it may be. So now we have a daily basis of machinability checking for variety of materials, either it's a medical field or agricultural field or any other fields, defense. And sometimes you are capable, sometimes you are not capable, sometimes you have to take some other supports. But how the material matters for an industry, for our livelihood, for any other things. Even if you want to go to an hospital from any bone injury, they put a screw, they put clamps, correct? No, this is all metal. And even if you undergo heart surgery, they put some foreign elements inside the heart. That's also material. See, now who invented that material? That is helping the humanity. I think through this presentation, more than knowing the material, we need to know the purpose. Sometimes what we make may not matter, why we make matters. That's very important. Now, if you have that attitude of learning, attitude of approaching, attitude of giving service, then you give 100% efforts there in learning or maybe delivering. Let us go through this. This is advanced materials for industrial application and powering progress. See, normally the overall progress in the world, it has happened because of metal. Today car tires are long lasting. You are able to drive without a problem. Maybe many people go from South India to North India in car. And today, anything you talk about material, even cloths or shoes or safety shoes or anything else, they have invented to long last and perform high. Now those are all made a big change in our lives. Today people live in a vertical building, 20th floor, 30th floor. I cannot go back to 1 century back and live like that way. Correct? No? Either cooking or anything else. You have to have all technology there. Either washing machine, fridge, stove. Correct? No? These are all comes with some metal. They will be supporting that purpose. If the metal is not invented on a need basis, then you will not be able to progress fast. That's why I put a title, we are powering the progress by inventing good metals and using metals. And if you know the purpose of it. And every field it is there. And I thank the management because I immediately accepted it because it is aligning with my vision of connecting with institutions from last almost all 30 years, from primary school to colleges. I go, in a year I spend at least 15% of my time voluntarily for institutions. Because one is I want to be connected with what is happening. When I am doing first standard, second standard, middle school, what was the subject and what is today's subject, I know. And what is the syllabus I was having and what you are having, I know. Why? Because I work with as a board of study members in many colleges and I visit so many non-technical schools, colleges also to understand MBA, even BA, BSc, BCom, all these institutions I go. Because the idea is to see how we can align your theory learning along with the industry needs or any other service needs, and how important is theory. I think you can see in my all presentation there is a believe in theory, one slogan will be there, one word will be there. If you don't believe in theory, you will not be able to progress. Some contractor, somebody else is a 10th fail, 8th fail, he made a money, he has a Mercedes car, he has, but you can count one in a million. But normal life is 99%, 999 in 1,000, normal progress life. But how do you support this 999? That is very important. Not one. One can survive somehow, but they are not a motivators actually today. See, today motivation comes from believing theory. You are able to think, you are able to develop, you are able to solve the problem, you are able to bring. I think you all know when somebody asked Abdul Kalam sir in some meeting, sir, today the heart surgery, the stunt will cost 70,000, 80,000. Small, it is 2 centimeter length of diameter of 1, 2. It is costing 70,000. Why it is? Then he heard that, he noted down, he went to DRDO, Hyderabad, then he sat, he called scientist. Why can't you invent this? What is great in that? Now the stunt rate comes straight away to 6,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees. Correct? Now that is where the serving humanity attitude is there. If some politician, some other industrial man, oh, it is 80,000, we will invent some metal, we will put 1.5 lakh. They look in another way, correct? No? But Abdul Kalam looks in a different way. He said, I think many people are suffering because of that cost, they are not able to get service. Because of that cost, they are not able to get health treatment. Why can't you reduce it? Now they invented, I think that material is running. Even the best imported material is costing around 25,000 rupees today. Best. And indigenous all less than 4,000, 5,000 rupees. See, that's kind of a serving humanity through technology. Who can do that? You cannot ask contractor, sir, can you find some material? While digging, you can find something that is, if it is useful, use it, otherwise you will throw it. But not like that. But ultimately what happens, we are engineers. We have a role, correct? No? I think in India, you know what kind of a government jobs runs. You take from border to bank, BB, correct? No? Border to bank. Bank employees also government employees. Military people also government employees. But what is their role? What is their role? They might have paid same. They may work same hour, 8 hours or something. But alertness, availability is a different. They are trained like that. Correct? No? They are trained like that. That's why they are serving. But when you come to, we are engineers. Okay? We are engineers. Then how we can train ourselves? ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. When you join +1, +2 PUC, PCMB, PCMC, PCME, something you have taken. Already you know the purpose, correct? No? Suppose when you are doing a 10th standard, you ask what you do. Already you are decided. After 7th standard, what you do? You know that I am going to 8th standard. Nothing doing. Either it is ICSE, CBSE or state syllabus. But when you do 10th standard, you are getting ready. Whether I have to go for a science field or a commerce field or a non-technical or what, you are deciding it. Now, if you have taken PCMB or PCMC, PCME, you know that your interest is to go towards engineering or medical. Then from that time itself, you have to get ready. If I become an engineer, this is what my roles. This is how I deliver. This is what I progress. This is why I do it. Suppose in your backward of house, you are putting a mango plant, sapling. What is it you are expecting from that? Do you expect mango or sapota from that? Mango. Why? Because you are planted mango tree, correct? No? If you have put a coconut tree plant, then what do you expect from that? You expect thunder coconut, correct? No? It doesn't give mango. We know already. Now, when you know that the time, coconut will take 5 years to give yield, mango will take 3 years to give yield, we know, correct? No? Now, till that, what is our role? to take care of it. Correct? No? Put manure, put water, to take care of it, protect it, then it starts giving yield. See, this is where we need to have a practice to learn from the nature, how we protect what we do. Then once you become an engineer, it is nothing to do with lifestyle. See, lifestyle, everybody can go to same restaurant, same pub, same bar, same anywhere else you can go, mall, anything you can go, same shoe you can buy, same dress you can buy, same food you can have, nothing. That doesn't make any difference. But the professions are different. When you have a civil, you have a different profession. How are you adapting it? Can you stand in the field for half a day? Can you go there? Correct, no? I think now the Dove soap advertisement is coming. I am a civil engineer. Because of that, I am using Dove soap. It is protecting me. You might have seen that. See, now I think every civil engineer should buy a Dove soap. Okay. See, now in this case, how do you prepare yourself? That matters. If that preparation happens from the +1 itself, I am 100% sure, 99.99% there is no failure in your progress. The failure in your progress comes only, suppose you are going to railway station without knowing when train is coming. When you go there at 10 o'clock, the train master says the train will come at 3 p.m. Oh, I came 10 o'clock, 3 p.m. What to do? Now you know that train is coming 3 p.m. You are going at 2:30. You buy a ticket. You stand in queue. You can get into train because you have planned. See, this is very simple. Everywhere there is a simple things are there. But how do you prepare that? But when you come to college, you meet different students, correct? No? Different friends. Maybe your own +1 high school friend is in computer science. You are in mechanical. Your own friend is in civil. You are in mechanical, correct? No? Your own friend in electronic. But normally when you come out, you meet in canteen, you meet in something, you have mind share, you go together, you travel together. But ultimately what happens? You are focusing more on lifestyle. Oh, he live like this, I live like this. He live like this, I live like this. I do this, I do this. But your profession will become ignorant. But please focus on your profession. I am a mechanical engineer, I am a civil engineer, I am an electronic engineer, I am this. Then how I can serve, what I can learn, where I should spend my time. Correct? See, this is where it will make you success. That is what Power in Progress. It is a common title. Not only metal, for you also. Okay. Take it. Now we will go with this ASCTC, the Vani program. But on a lighter note, during my high school, I had one classmate called Vani. Okay. But it has come as that like a vibrant advocacy of advancement in nurturing Indian language. See, now today the focusing on training on local languages. In fact, this I initiated 1998 in TVS Motor. When I went for a training, they asked, "Sir, can you teach in Tamil?" I said, no problem. I'll teach in Tamil. Can you take one class for half an hour? I took it. They said, your class is better than our own Tamil people's. They said. Then afterwards, can you give book in Tamil? No problem. Then I went Tamil Sangam. I told somebody, then some engineers, I made a 200-page book in Tamil for industrial instruction. Then same TVS Motor Mysore plant, they asked, can you make in Kannada? I made in Kannada. Then afterwards, that time itself told, better to communicate in our own languages. Because I work as a board of study member for Madanpalli Institute in Andhra. When I visited, I spent a full day. I met a lot of students personally. I can understand they're all from surrounding village and town places. The communication, I told him, don't hesitate. You want to speak in Telugu, speak Telugu, no problem. You want to speak in Hindi, you speak whatever language you know. At least I know some South languages comfortably, I can manage. You can speak, no problem. But I told colleges, please allow students to interact in their own language. Even if they want to express their own language, if the lecturer is able to communicate in the local language, let them do it. But the other language of English is very important. That can be a parallel learning. You can have a separate class, hire some lecturer, they come in the evening, they teach, you do some grammar, this can be done. It's not because that is only a language, it's not a technology. English is not a technology. The technology is what you understand is a technology. Correct? See, that is where they started it. It's a very grand success actually, that one. And students are able to express their ideas and views in their own language, they write. Correct? No? See, that has made a big change in first semester and second semester. Then after third, fourth, and they adapt, they start communicating in a different way. It has become a success because that time there should not be a pressure on student. Oh, if I don't know this, then I will be a failure person. No, you are not a failure person, you are a successful person. If you can express your ideas in your own language, in your own hand sketch, in your own view, okay, these are all very, very important. If you can practice it, you can do a lot of things. You can moving forward quickly. See now, before getting into this, just quickly 2 minutes video of our company. Yes Designers Limited is a machine tool company. There is a flagship of our whole total groups of 14 units. We make turning centers, machine centers, grinding and laser cutting machines. Plus again, we have a software division also for IoT. We are one of the top IoT company in India. And now we have a capacity to build as on days. Monthly 850, 900 machines, CNC machines have been dispatched every month now. And by 2029, we have a plan to, per year, we want to make 1,000 lathe, 1,000 milling machines per month. That's a target. And we want to reach $1 billion business as a total globe. Now we have a factory in China, and we have office in China, we have office in Chicago, we have office in Germany, and now recently opened in Dubai also as a service and sales centers. And on 16 countries we have dealers. And quickly go through this. We have our own foundry. It's completely automated foundry. This is our machine shop. And as on day, we are using 80% of our green energy, sustainable. By next December, we will have a surplus more than 100%. This is our painting shop, completely automated painting shop. Very few people work in this complete capacity. This is our spindle room for validation and checking. And this is our warehouse. This is totally in around 88-acre area it is covered. And this is our assembly line. The machines are assembled like a car on a conveyor. One is motorized conveyor is there, one is pull push is there. And once the machine is ready, they will come here for a final inspection of any painting failure or anything else. Then it will pack and store. Any given time, we will have a 250 to 300 machine in stock to move. Okay. Right now, as a group, we are 4,600 employees total. And each, at least big groups are having 1,200, 1,200. Remaining is having 500, 600, 200, something like that. See now, the whole objective of this is to, for technical institutions, mind share, to share expertise, experience in the critical thinking and problem solving, because every branch have their own demands of thinking and serving. Suppose construction is civil, the mechanical has a different areas, component manufacturing, okay, or maybe product making, NPD, news, life cycle management. Then again, supporting faculty-driven projects, because nowadays we are encouraging faculties to connect with industries, the small things they can have a mind share, and professional development to build nation and bring change. So ultimately, like a family, if all the family people work hard, your family will progress. You are building your family with all the resources. The same way, either a village or a town or a nation is a very important, how you build nation with your ideas and knowledge. And the concept of this learning of engineering is basically to look at that we are serving humanity through technology. I think in the beginning I told art stunt material which is costing 70,000, 1 lakh rupees, and Abdul Kalam has taken a group of scientists and they come out with new material which is costing 5,000-6,000 rupees. So that means all our purpose is to serve humanity. Today too, maybe 100 years back, nobody has thought we are going to live in 30th floor. Correct, no? Now if you are living in 30th floor, I cannot take my cow buffalo there. I cannot have a wood to fire cooking. Correct, no? I cannot wash my clothes on a regular type. Everything you need a machine. Correct, no? You need a cooking is also, you need a equipment and anything you want to make a grind, you need equipment, you need a washing cloth equipment. That means you are living completely on the 30th floor with equipments. See, those are all what actually? Those are all products, correct, no? See, now those products are serving humanity to live with comfort. So that's where here you can take it. Many fields, even agricultural field today, without equipments, you cannot run agricultural work today. Either a tractor or a plow or any sowing, harvesting, everything is depending on those. And you can see all these agricultural areas. Then power grids, thermal powers, all these areas. I think every field we are given a service. Every field we are entered, every field we are giving machineries, helping making products. And our main motto should be serving humanity through technology. What is the technology you learn? Believe in theory. You conceive everything and see where you can serve, which area you can serve. See, that is where the small accomplishments will help you to grow faster. It will give you confidence. So that is very, very important. And keeping this as a concept, then we'll start thinking on this. See, now the total area, the current trends where it's coming in metal utilization, all those things, maybe aerospace and defense. And today, the last week our President Murmu has flown through a Rafale, and the lady pilot has taken around. We are all proud actually, correct, no? And that also built with metal. It has a lot of metal inside, and ultimately these are all proudness you need to feel what's happening there, how the defense is happening. Because I also worked with defense company for 2 years inside the plant for the project engineer and making a anti-aircraft gun actually. I was from all the parts handled. I was a team leader in 92, 93. See, now this is a very, very important, either aerospace or defense. These two are the prominent requirement in any nation nowadays. Because today our Operation Sindoor, the greatest success because of Air Force. Because sitting somewhere else, they can launch anything, they can destroy within few minutes. That is a success actually. That means it requires a metal. That also will show here. And we worked for that, in fact, for the products. I have one case study, but I cannot disclose all the materials, but certain things, we are import substitution, we worked long back, and it's very successful. One component cost 1.1 crores to 2.5 crores. We were supposed to import earlier. Now it is made in India only. It is costing now maybe 1/3, less than 1/3 cost. See, now this way, aerospace, defense, then automobile, I think any two-wheeler, four-wheeler, anything truck is running, and these are all made with some materials. It includes variety of materials. Maybe you want to feel like that. Suppose you can imagine if Nandini milk dairy vehicles don't enter into the city for 1 week, what will happen? Vegetable farmers, those who pick up in the morning 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock they enter. I told somebody, you go and stand 3 o'clock near the toll of Navayuga toll in Nelmangla. You see how many vehicles are coming in. Correct, no? See, now they have different variety of vehicles for luggage pickup. Even up to 500 kg, 300 kg to 5 ton weight, Ape, you might have heard of, correct, no? And one website I will tell you, Atul Auto, they have made a tremendous transformation in Gujarat for employment, the vehicle. Today, auto is available for making pizza. Can you imagine that? Auto is available to store ice cream. You can go 100 kilometers. There's a generator, it will cool it, it will store it. There's no problem. And autos are available for selling cloth. Autos are available for selling house utensils. Autos are selling for so many other household equipments. It's a shop actually. It's a shop on wheel. And that's created huge job and employability and other things. What is the social economy in Gujarat. See, these things you need to see who has made that. But major contribution in this, all Gujarat, Rajkot, diploma college students. They come out with some idea, they do it as internship and project, they leave it in market, it will become a trend. Who is a trendsetter? One fellow came, he fit a fridge and everything, he made ice storing equipment. Then 100 people bought that vehicle, started selling ice cream in the village. Take that vehicle to village 30 km, 25 km, move around, sell the ice cream. Branded ice cream, Amul, other ice creams, not like what they made. See, this is where you can bring change, technology. See, now automobile, then again instrumentation. Today, whatever use a gas stove in our home, the knob, all those things, that's called instrumentation. Everybody simply cannot manufacture. Only licensed people can manufacture that. See, this is having again different materials, brass, stainless steel, everything. Then machine tool, we use material, I'll show that. Then the medical and surgery, today I think medical without equipments, nothing will happen. Even from scissor to cutting or needle, everything is mechanical equipment. Even surgeries, today done, bone surgeries, bone screws, correct, no? Even hip joints, everything coming under a material. It may be titanium, it may be some SS material, special material. And again, agricultural machinery, today without equipment we cannot run the agriculture nowadays, impossible, correct. That's where this also become very dominating segments. Then food and beverage, today I think 90% consumed food as packed foods. Even if you go to Reliance Fresh to buy something, the dal is packed, it is packed by machine, not by humans. That also machine is required, no? It has to weigh 1 kilo, it has to fill. How Nandini milk is been packed, not somebody is pouring and somebody is putting a stove and heating it. It is done every millisecond, one packet is being produced. See, this is where the technology is coming in the field. See, these things we need to start imagining. The imagination should start from small things. That's what we call it accomplishment. Yes, I understood. There's the first accomplishment. I did the second accomplishment. It is performing. It's the third accomplishment. Correct, no? Now, how to make upma? I know, oh, these are elements is required. That's the first accomplishment. First you did upma, it was not very tasty. That is the second accomplishment. Then you did 5 times, it is very tasty. Then third accomplishment. Then afterwards it's become your recipe. See, like this here. And food and beverages also becoming an industry now. Without that it won't run. Then another one is general engineering, home appliances. Everywhere metal is required, everywhere product is required. And what will be your thinking? See, sometimes we thinking half an hour is a waste. No. Think, get an idea, record it. That's what body and mind. Whatever runs in your mind, if it is not recorded, it's going to waste. That is where you record it. One time it will be useful. See, now the institutions, generally you need to look the benefit. You are all students, you are you are a beneficiary of this institution, correct, no? Maybe other way you can tell, I am paying fees, institution is a beneficiary, correct, no? Other way also you can tell, I am paying fees, they are beneficiary. Now what is very important, that is more important, correct, no? That means institution is serving you, giving education, that is more important. See, you can tell farmer, I pay money, that's why he is giving a brinjal, cabbage, whatever it may be. Suppose he says, you don't give money, I don't give, then what will happen? I don't need money, I don't give, then what will happen? So it becomes disaster. Now you need to think which is having a more value addition, which is having a more value proposition we call it actually. See, that is where is the big changes of our thinking process. That is where in industry we call it as empathy. That means how do you think about farmer, how do you think about institution, how do you think about transportation, public transportation, correct, no? It's not that you are paying it. If it is not there, what will happen? That also you need to think. So that's where the beneficiary oriented teaching and other things, conducting mini projects, emphasis on NPD, life cycle management and R&D, then white paper. That means your ideas should be recorded always, continuously. In a 4 year, if you record 100 ideas, I don't know, with collective thinking, that idea can become a market point, I think so. That also you can think of. Otherwise, see, normally what happens, if somebody save every month 500 rupees, for example, don't touch it. After 4 years, what will happen? You have financial thinking at least. See, that is the start point, no? You save every month 500 rupees. Then after 4 years, what will happen? Huh? Correct, no? See, yearly some 6,000 something, correct, no? Then added interest, everything together. Definitely you will have some good money at the end. Is it a waste or a good? It's a good. But only thing is, you should make a mind of saving 500 rupees every month. So like that, ideas collection, thinking on ideas, again and again thinking. I think you might have heard Thomas Alva Edison when inventing bulb, he wrote, 10,000 times I failed, 10,001 becomes successful. That means because of 10,000 failure, he is able to make 10,001. Suppose he would have stopped at 1,500, then they never invented that. Maybe somebody has invented that, secondary. But this is where you need to think, you should have an idea in front of you. See, that is called a subconscious mind, basically, that works with you. See, now emphasis on alternative career. See, basically this person should have always confidence in leaving. Okay, if this is not, I will do that. If that is not, I will do that. So ultimately you have to live, correct, no? With values. Either I can think of defense service, self-employment, teaching, there are a lot of things are there. You can get into that. But again, promote inclusive learning. I told, suppose mechanical engineer learning computer science is not a problem. Electronic is not a problem. Electrical is not a problem, correct, no? Understand, suppose today I want to supply my machine to customer. If it is weighing 20 ton or 10 ton, we tell customer, please do grouting. Grouting means what? Depending on their land condition, they have to dig, take a civil engineer help and make a bed. Either it may be 1 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet or 1 meter, 2 meter thickness of concrete they have to put. On that we are going to put our machine. If we just put it on just ground like this, it will not work because it starts sinking, different level variation. See, this is where we are working with civil also, and we are also having civil engineers with us. Even though machine tool company, we have civil engineers. Without that, but we don't have many, but we have civil engineers for that advice. We call it project engineers. See, now this is all very important in institutions, and the faculties, the development, develop courses to help needy youths. Correct? No, you cannot say someone is already industrial kids or somebody is having settled, they just come college for to get a degree. Just getting a degree because it's a title nowadays. Correct? No? But for somebody, degree is a life. For somebody's degree is a title. For somebody, degree is a life. But how do you identify such peoples? For needy peoples, you have to engage them. You have to provide opportunities. So very, very important. And develop students, follow students, because nowadays it's very important. We follow somebody sitting in Africa, is a singer or some other social media influencer, we follow them. Correct, no? To improve our lifestyle. But why can't you follow student, follow some talented student, some intelligent student, somebody is very savvy in making a presentation, collecting data, putting it one place. Now you can say, you do that, I will follow you. Correct, no? You collect data, you put it, and you talk about something 1 minute, 2 minute voice, then I will follow it. See, this is a great success actually, student follow student. Actually, we started this concept in 80s in hostel itself. Correct, no? We made a subject dropout sangha. ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ಔಟ್ ಸಂಘ. ಯಾರು ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಥರ್ಮೋಡೈನಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸಂಘ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. ಏನು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಒನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜಿ ಏನು, ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಏನು, ಅದ್ರ ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಲ್ಲೇ ದೇ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್, ಗೆಟ್ 70-80 marks. Because it is not by-hearted, it is familiarized. Please understand. In engineering, familiarization is more important than by-hearting. Okay? See, now the familiarization gives them a confidence. Oh, I am aware of this chapter, I can write it. See, only thing is you should have your own language to write it, nothing else. Need not to write like Newton's first law, write as it is. If you make any one change, I will not give a marks. No. Correct. See, now this is where you can think of that. Student follow students is very important. Then again, develop virtual displays in college, because in college we need to have a lot of displays for motivation. Either it's a defense, either it's a career, either it's a finance saving, either it's a healthcare, either it's a culture. We need a display so that when I see, my subconscious, oh, I should not do this, I should do this, something like that. Then again, develop student society and social help, student society for social connections, because without social connections, we are nothing actually. We are identified because you go and tell somebody where I am in Bangalore, because Bangalore is a big city, correct, no? That's why you are able to claim I am in Bangalore. But suppose if all Bangalore vacates, you are alone, standing in Majestic, what do you do? Nothing. That means your identity is gone. That means we need to have a society connection, need to have more understanding society, because all product, service, everything is going to society only. Even you do software, app, or what is it, Mintra, everything used by humans again. Laptop used by humans, projector used by humans, vehicle used by human, correct, no? Washing machine used by human. Everything used by human. Cars. See, that is where, if you know society, then your ideas will be more. Even today, even restaurant, somebody opening some restaurant, they identify which area I should open restaurant, whether in Yelahanka or Dasaralli or Jayanagar or somewhere else, because they know this area people like this food more. Then if I open it here, I can make a more business. But if they make simply, I am having a place in Dasaralli, make it, those people don't like that food, then you cannot do business. See, this is how it goes. That understanding society is building confidence. It is not that I know everything. It is basically to build confidence. Okay, now we are talking about metal. Normally everybody knows ferrous, non-ferrous, alloy, aluminium, copper, correct? No? You might have heard of this actually. Even you Google it or you go in your textbook itself, metal science, everything will be there. You know that. But ultimately, what is the end process of it? Suppose in your car, one bearing is there. You buy a bearing, you give it to a garage fellow, you fit it. What is that material? Why bearing is made in that material? What process has happened? Correct, no? That is the big challenge again. Or whatever heat treatment they do, whether they quench in a water or quench in a oil. Correct, no? Heat treatment process is how. That is why it is sustaining as a bearing, running long life. Correct, no? Otherwise, every alternative you have to replace the bearing. If the metal is wrong, the process is wrong. See, these processes are very, very important. How do you understand? See, these are all common material everybody knows, and you have to think about ferrous material, the construction, pipes, tools, correct, no? Carbon steels. Well used in our house, you are bringing a pipe or anything else. Channels are all made sheet metal, grill, correct, no? These are all ferrous material. When you go to non-ferrous, aluminium, copper, I think this also we use at home, aluminium tawa, correct, no? Aluminium, some plate, aluminium, some patre, or anywhere you go, aluminium, this is there already. And then high performing alloys comes to jet engine, like in a flight jet engine, it goes up to 2000 degree temperature inside. If the metal is not able to withstand, it will melt. It has to work. The flight is flying from Bangalore to Delhi 3 hours, the jet is running, correct, no? That metal is under the temperature for a long time. Now whatever metal is required, again they are coating on that. That coating will be around 10 micron, 5 micron. What is that material again? Correct. Now in winter, we have winter cream. Correct. You are not putting 1 mm, 2 mm thickness winter cream. You apply it. That creates a layer. It will not allow atmospheric weather to touch the skin. That's why the skin is soft. That means it acts like a layer, nothing else. But if somebody take a stick and beat on your hand, definitely you get a pain. Why? Because that cannot protect that. See, that is where material, everything, coating is also material, like you are having a tawa, aluminium with a Teflon coated, correct, no? The coating is how much? It is 20 micron, 10 micron, that's all. Because of that your non-stick will come, because of that some long life will come. See, this is where all these metals will come into that. Then again, these are some electronic sensors items. These are all amorphous metals, metallic glasses. Because these are all used for a non-conductive, okay, and again it is a high temperature resistance. Normally in X-ray machines, we do X-ray machines and MRI machines products, so up to sub-assembly level for GE. We have a separate unit for that. See, there 90% is non-metal, only 10% is metal, because in X-ray machines you cannot take the metal there. You know, you can see this here, these are all common things. And in our cases, machine, to build this machine, that's why I titled it Metal to Money. Now we buy all the materials, variety of materials, we convert into a component, then we assemble it, now machine is ready. Now some 1000 rupee, some lakh rupee metal you have purchased, there is a conversion cost, then finally we make a product and we price it. That is where you get the profit, that is where the product's performing. See, now inside there is a spindle, it has to rotate at 6000 RPM, okay, and the slide, it has to rotate, it has to move, slide at a rapid rate, it has to move around, and bed should withstand all the impacts, dynamic load, all these things. See, now this is where the different material, this metal is cast iron, and this is steel, and here you can see this is a coated guideways, and this is a cast iron. In cast iron again different grade, depending on the location. That is how that metal will perform there, otherwise it will fail. See, this is our metallurgy, what we use inside the industry. Ultimately, you buy material, you convert into component, you assemble it, you make a product. Even sheet metal, you see guard, you buy a sheet roll, big rolls, and we press it, then we cut by laser cutting or anything else, then we weld it, then finally paint it and it will become this. See, this is where the metal has a big role in the product buildings. Then you can see this, the first history you can start. Anything we can get a metal, suppose. If you are not able to make it shape by cutting, correct? Now it is highly difficult. That means we have a stainless steel, I want to make some shape by a tool. That tool should have a different nature again. Correct? No? Suppose you are cutting a vegetable, different vegetable, you have a knife. The knife is a different material and food is a different material. So in this case, how you treat this, because if you go olden days of Stone Age, everything has been carved by stone only. There is no other metal that time. Slowly metal age came, then tools came, but industrial revolution started heavily from last 110 years. You can see 125 years. See, 100 years back, 1990, the component, any given component, it was taking 100 hours. Today, it is taking 1 minute. You see the difference. You can understand that, no? Which 100 years back, the component manufacturing, it was taking 100 hours. Today, it is taking 1 minute. That means there is an improvement in tool materials and coatings. See, these are all helping in producing fast. Because 100 years back population, 100 years back consumption, 100 years back demand was so much. Correct? No? Like 50 years back, Bajaj scooter, monthly they are making 100 or 20, 50 scooters. Today, per day, they make 25,000 vehicles. One factory. TVS makes 25,000 vehicles per day. Honda makes 40,000 per day. Okay, Suzuki makes maybe 10,000 per day. All put together, they make around 1,100,000 per day. All are consumed. But why it is? Because of manufacturing speed is increased. You are able to run spindle at 10,000 RPM, 40,000 RPM, which is running at 100 RPM, 200 RPM, now it is 20,000 RPM. And it is able to go fast. At 50 years back, from Bangalore to Davangere, it was taking 10 hours journey. Today, people talk 2.5 hours, 3 hours, correct? No? Why? Because the 10 hours it has come to 3 hours because of vehicles, roads, infrastructure. See, this is where the metal is having a big impact in the society. And you can see this. See, this is a machine we supply. If I want to cut this bearing material, it's very interesting. You can see this. See, this is a big bearing. This bearing is coming in a steel roll mills, big shaft bearing of 500 dia with 65 HRC hardness. Now, if I want to make this shape, I cannot use ordinary tool. It has to use ceramic insets, and you can see that almost all you get a burr with like a fire. That means the chips are coming almost all like ash, but it is 65 HRC. But if you don't have the tool, particular tool which can withstand this, then I cannot produce this component. Then I have to go for grinding. It takes 3 hours. Otherwise, it takes hardly 2 minutes here. Where is 3 hours? Where is 2 minutes? You can imagine, no? The grinding process will take a too long time, but here it takes a very small time. You can see it. But here, you need to have all the withstanding elements here, thermal effects. Anything get heat, it will get thermal effect. Now you need to treat those materials thermally, it should be stable. Okay. That means this is contributed in manufacturing industry. This has made a revolutionary improvements in metals actually. You may think you may be driving your vehicle, two-wheeler. If bearing goes, you go to garage, you will replace. But how the bearing comes, from where it comes, that is more important. And next you can see these are some process of polishing. Earlier maybe this kind of, you can see the people standing in front of machine, you can see their photos, their faces here. That means you can get that mirror finish by doing this burnishing operations. So now earlier this burnishing is to done by hand, buffers and all, it taking 1 hour per component. Now hardly 30 seconds, 40 seconds we can finish one component. See, these are the big changes happened here in the burnishing process. The burning tip, it looks like a pen. There is a diamond ball here. There is a carbide ball treated, and that ball will have a slightly pressure. That means there is a spring loaded inside, like a ball pen, no? Like it is spring loaded, and it starts moving around. And now you can see this movement will create that glossy finish. It is not cutting the metal, it is just rubbing the metal. You can see this. Now if I don't have that material, especially which ball is rubbing with this hard part, then I will not be able to do this component. It takes a long process and you will not get a desired quality also. See, these are all made a tremendous transformation in product performance. It's a very important thing actually. Next you can see, I think, the trends, the current trend, what's going on. We talk about material, the carbon fiber. So today all sports bikes are coming with carbon fiber guards, correct no? Some cars are coming. The carbon fiber is getting more popular. You cannot use everywhere because it's very expensive material. And it may be a plastic, but it is done in a different way with fiber, and it's appearing in cycle, one cycle carbon fiber, all forks, everything. It may cost 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, one cycle. Maybe we have up to 5-10 lakh rupees cycles also available with all carbon fiber, lightweight. Just I can lift it and take it, fold it. See, now these things are coming up nowadays, and it has its own advantage for mileage, for performance. You can shape the carbon fiber whatever you want. And you can study about this material. What is this material? It's very easy. You can get into YouTube. You have nice classes are there on that carbon fiber, and it has made a big change. Even drones, it has made a big change because that a climate friendly. Even you put it in 0 degree, minus degree, or 40 degree, 80 degree. It doesn't matter for it. There will not be thermal expansion. There is no thermal compression in this. So that is where they use this. The only thing is advantage, disadvantage. It is advantage high strength, corrosion free, high stiffness, fatigue, everything is there. But disadvantage is high cost. Because something is special, normally it is a cost. Correct? No? Something is abundant, available, you can get it very common. But steel forming, you need a energy to form the steel. But carbon fiber, you don't need that much energy to form it. See, there are some process things are there. That's why advantage, disadvantage, you can look into this. This is a now trending material, carbon fiber actually. Next, you all aware of this alloy wheels, correct? No? Today, trending 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler are coming with alloy wheels. But it has its own advantage, it has its own disadvantage also. Because the disadvantage is, suppose if it get cracked, I cannot repair it, no welding, nothing, I have to throw it. But other rims, I can get it repaired, I can bend it, I can do it, I can weld it, I can still use. But this has advantage, disadvantage. Advantage is because it's well balanced and I can get shape whatever size I want. Okay, depending on sports vehicle or other vehicles, I can get it, and I can get the different design easily because it's a mold. It is not fabricated. So that way, these trends are coming up, and we are one of the largest supplier of alloy wheels in India. The machine builders and all Bajaj, TVS, any two-wheeler vehicle exports here. I think we build machines to make these components. Okay, and highest two-wheelers alloy wheels are produced on our machines. See, now alloy wheels advantage, disadvantage. Advantage is lighter weight, better heat dissipation, because it's aluminium, it absorbs the tire heat fast and it dissipates. Steel means it will retain there only. And improved performance and corrosion resistance, all these things are aesthetic, I can get any shape. But disadvantage is higher cost, easier damage. Suppose you go and collide with something, alloy will get cracked, then I cannot use it again. See, these are the small theft risks. Normally, people steal alloy wheels more than steel wheels, correct? Because they are expensive. See, these are all things are there. These are all theft, higher maintenance, less durable for heavy loads. That means you cannot use heavy loads. Alloy wheels are good for good highway and roads and other things. Otherwise, it's a very risky things. Then super alloys, because the super alloys have made a tremendous impact in industries nowadays. Either it is a car engine, either it is a high-speed vehicles, either it is a aeroplane engines or railway engines, everywhere super alloy made a this one especially is nickel based, cobalt based and iron based materials, and these common elements coming with the super alloy. These are the materials like titanium, then molybdenum. Because today you see in stadium the floodlights are coming. No, now floodlight when it's glowing, the temperature goes up to 800, 900, 1000 degree temperature. Now, if that equipment is not withstanding that, what will happen? It will get melt. It's a danger. Now, there they use these molybdenum materials and again tungsten materials. We supplied machine to one company, world #1 company called Planzi, is an Austrian company. They have produced those components to supply only for lighting systems. And one factory is in Mysore. Around 90% of machines are ours. And we worked on that to develop that nickel machining. It's not easy. We have to do a lot of R&D, which tool will work, how it will work, in machine what kind of guideway is required, what kind of bearing is required, what kind of bed is required. Finally, we are succeeded, we have supplied number of machines to them. See, now this is helping the import substitution. Otherwise, what we supplied cost around 70 lakh. If they import, it costs 3 crore rupees. Now it's an import substitution. Otherwise, 2.5 crores goes away from our nation. Money goes from our nation. See, this is also a nation building work. We have to do it. And you can see here the super alloy, all your 2-wheeler, 4-wheeler running engine valves. There is one material called stellate. This is the key success factor of the functioning of valve. If this is not coated here, the welded in stellate, this engine valve will not perform. And you can see this here. We supply machine, I think any 2-wheeler running in India, 90% of engine valves made on our machines. Because we are giving a complete automation for that. Unmanned, complete floor. Just you put a valve, you take it. See now, see that area is a stellate machining area. See, this is a stellate area. Now it will go for inspection. Now every 12-13 seconds one component will come out. Because 1 lakh 2-wheelers are built in India, then how many are required, you imagine. Now EV has come, but still this is the demand. Okay. This stellate material. And now we are supplied machine to GE Electronics, where they make MRI machines and X-ray machines. And it's very special. You can see this is ceramic, this is stainless steel, this is cover material, and in between there will be some brass rings are there. You cannot imagine which tool can do. One tool, common tool will not work for all the materials. It's the biggest challenge to machine this kind of components. Even drilling, tapping is also biggest challenge. And here you are not using coolant, it is supplying nitrogen. The coolant is a nitrogen here, because we cannot use coolant on some material. Even cover material you cannot use coolant. And even coolant temperature is room temperature. It's not sufficient. They need minus 80 degree, minus 30 degree, minus 100 degree. With nitrogen gas will be pumped at cutting area. Then only it will go, because it generates heat, tremendous heat. See, this is where actually the same component is running on an imported machine, it costs 3 crore rupees. Same performance, we built machine, it's costing around 85-90 lakh rupees. It's working last 2 years, 3 and 1 years, it's working, no issues. But only thing is, you have to put an effort. Our whole effort is to look for import substitution. Otherwise, our money goes to other country. It is not that you are 100% self-reliable. Certain things, whatever possible, you can do it. Suppose you need not to buy lemon. You have carbev, need not to buy. But you feel proud. I am having a carbev tree inside my house, correct? No? I have a lemon tree, I have some papaya, I have something. It may not cost you much, but you feel proud. You have a tree with you, it's like your family member, correct? No? See, that is where self-reliability will come. See, this is one of the challenge material. And I think you are all fans of 2-wheeler, 4-wheelers, correct? You talk about sports car, that is, maga, adenamma, 300 km hoಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹೆಂಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬುಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. You all talk all these things. But bus anta technology alla. But how it goes is a technology. Correct? Then how do you understand that technology? How can car can accelerate to 100 km within 5 seconds, within 3 seconds? Correct? No? What happens inside? What kind of mechanism is required? Correct? No? I think you might have go through in India. The most inspiring relaunching technology is Mahindra and Tata. Mahindra cars. Okay. Even I was inspired, I bought Mahindra car. Earlier I was buying imported cars, now I bought Mahindra car. Why? Because of that inspiration. At least wherever I go talk. See, why it's happened? They did so much R&D, they did so much testing, they proved, then they brought on wheel, on the road. See, that is where the vehicles are performing so good today. See, that is where all these things, part of the main thing in the is exhaust. Where the catalysts are used, where the pollution control, now Bharat stage 6, Euro 6, now we are moving Bharat stage 8. It's highly difficult to build vehicle. I use a diesel petrol is okay, but how do you manage it? That is a technology. No pollution is allowed today. Now you see even Mahindra XCV is maybe 2.2 liter, everything. You stand inside, you cannot see smoke. Where is the smoke? It has a catalyst inside, it will not allow smoke to come out. Only heat will come out. Everything will be stored. Okay, so that is where for these parts making is a difficult. Inside there will be a temperature, the sensor should work at high temperature. All those components are very, very critical. We think silencer is a pipe. It is not just a pipe. It is like a body. What you eat, what happens inside, where whole process of it is like that. What you feed diesel, where it burns, then what happens is a big challenge. Here, so many materials are coming. Even nickel-based materials, then ceramics, steel, SS, everything are coming. Without that, the silencer will not. Like a Innova car or any other high-end cars, silencers are having all these things. You can see this. We are actually by wrongly supplied one machine to one customer in Pune. They also took wrongly and our people sold wrongly. Then I went there. Then I studied. That material is having a 14% nickel. You cannot easily machine, the diameter looks 30, but normal steel can go to smaller machine, but it's not possible. Now we worked out, then we selected a proper oil for this. Without oil you cannot machine. If you put a coolant water for this, that white water, within 10 component, your water temperature goes to 80 degree. It starts evaporating, you can feel the steam. It is highly impossible. Then finally a special neat oil with all these operations is able to sustain. Now, earlier nobody thought. They seen the drawing, when sir this day they thread madadu, odi madada, easy lethal agudutte. But it didn't work. Then afterwards we studied, we gone through internet, we gone through some books. Finally we understand how to handle nickel-based materials in machining with critical operations. Because these components are coming inside the silencer. Those are all sensor fittings items, where it is sensing temperature, sensing carbon, sensing some hazardous smoke, it will sense. If it goes, I think advanced car, no? They one alarm will come region, correct, no? Some clocking happens, it say you do engine region, that silencer region alarm will come. So like these things, sensors will be there inside. This is a very interesting project of handling these materials. Now this company, Farasia, is a supplier to Toyota. They make silencer and supply in Biddi. Our machines are running there. Because they also not, they thought some small machine take it and machine, but it didn't work. Then whichever we supplied, we took back those machines. We built a new category of machines, we supplied back again with value addition. So this is where we are able to success in this. See now other area to machine, because here also we made unmanned, because touching component again and again it's not good. That creates a corrosion and other things. That's why completely unmanned it goes. You can see finally it will throw into the conveyor. You can see here the conveyor goes, it will throw into that, then it comes out here, you can see this is a component. Now from there you can put it in another conveyor simply without touching, it will go. Then the washing will happen, then the packing will happen there. Then it goes for assembly. See now this is having 14% nickel. The drilling, threading, grooving, parting is not easy from common machine. It requires a heavy spindle, it requires a collet system, it requires a through coolant of oil, that special oil. That oil also should have content of this, then only it will work, otherwise oil will start smoking. I think you are seeing there is no smoke. The regular oil will create a smoke. Here it doesn't create a smoke. See, these are all the challenges we face, because that means material is serving the humanity. Please understand, correct, no? Material is serving. Suppose you have tie. What is that material? It's a nylon. Sir, yak nylon, sir. Now Gandhi Deshador now Khadi hakbidana. Khadi hakire 2 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ದಾರ ಬರಲು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೆಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. It starts smelling. Correct, no? You cannot put it on your neck. That means everywhere material make a big difference in that. Now the another biggest material contribution in industrial application is ceramic. Earlier we thought ceramic is only Chinese bowl, eating spoon, table, plates, but ceramic has a big role in industry now. Without ceramic, some industries, some products you don't even imagine it runs. So now we can see in automobile, aerospace, electronics, energy, defense, all areas ceramics are there. We have worked many on this. Even in ceramic there is 2 stages. One we call it as a green stage, one is called as a sintered. ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಈಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಕುಂಬಾರು ಮಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅದು ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದಿನ್ನೂ ಸುಟ್ಟಿರಲ್ಲ, ಸುಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಆಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಂಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್. ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ tool is a ceramic. That is why it is able to run on this. You can see inside spindle ceramic bearings. When you put a ceramic bearing, this spindle can go 20,000-40,000 RPM. Steel bearing cannot go because ceramic can withstand the temperature and friction. See this huge tool area and bearing area. This is a huge contribution. In automobile also ceramic is having a big role. And you can see in all these areas the contribution. This you might imagine, what is this? The front head. This one is this. This is called a radome. That is actually a ceramic material. You cannot put steel there because inside there is an antenna. It works with GPS and travel according to that. It guides. Okay, that is called a trajectory monitoring things. Now in that case, we cannot use steel there. It should be ceramic. You can see in aeroplane, this top is a ceramic. This is a steel. Here the antenna is there. It will take care of its radar movements. So now this alone, this is 350 dia, length around 375 mm, and wall thickness around 6 or 5 mm. This cost, if you import this cost 1.25 crore one component. And bigger, this is a 750 mm length, this will cost 2.5 crores. Because success rate in machining this, 1 in a 10. If you machine 10, 1 will be success. And cycle time, can you imagine? To produce this component complete, 24 man day, one component cycle time cutting, because you are taking 20 micron cut at low RPM, at low feed rate. One cut will take 45 minutes, 70 minutes to travel. That means you have to go number of cuts. See, those will add into that. That means earlier all these are imported from Russia or France. Only 2 countries supply in the world. And each component, suppose while landing it will break. Once you launch the missile, it's gone. It will go and drop there. You cannot take it back. And now these are all expensive. That's why missiles are very expensive. Now indigenous is becoming common. That is why we are able to, in Operation Sindoor, we can send so many missiles, go and destroy it. For us it is not a cost. If we import and do it, then for 10 rupee you are paying 1000 rupee. Now for 10 rupee you are doing at 8 rupee. Big saving for nation actually. That's where these are. But this we worked out. But this I cannot disclose the process and other things because they don't even allow us to give material to our factory also. We supplied machine. We gone there. We sat there. We loaded. We machined. Our people weekly basis we stood there and we achieved it. Now every 24 days. That means total cycle time, takt time. Every 24 days, 25 days, 30 days they get one radome. Right now they machined hundreds of radomes in their factory with our 2 machines. Our machine cost is 49 lakh we supplied, 2 machines, 49, 1 crore. Now, if they produce 1 radome, 2 machine cost has come. That's all over. So now, there are a very good scientist I met actually in DRDO, fantastic guy, he is a visionary guy. He took this decision, he developed this material, he is doing green and sintered and machining. It is successful, very successful. And now we have taken up a next project for making 850 mm length radome, bigger radome. That will be very, very expensive. It may run for 45-50 days one cycle time. Okay. See, this is now BrahMos, what are happening because of manufacturing of these fast manufacturing in India in itself. It's a big saving for us actually. And it has a 2-stage green stage. Green stage is non-sintered and sintered is baked. It baked at 3000 degree temperature and it will be very hard. Now you can see ceramics is used in automobile. Many parts in car is the ceramics. Like spark plug is a ceramic. And some ceramic you cannot use where the shock absorbers are there, where shocking are there, where it is a fitment, wear, friction. Sports car all brake disc are ceramic. You cannot use steel in sports cars. It will just get melt for that braking systems. And you can see all these things are coming in. The spark plug is a ceramic. See, these are all materials used in engine they used, exhaust they used, braking they used, electronic system because of non-conducting. See, these are all the major breakthroughs in vehicles for longevity, performance, all those things. And now you can see I worked on this project around 2011 to machine this graphite. See, graphites are used in foundries as conductors and electrical foundries, they use these materials. So very material is like a pencil. Inside the pencil, you know the graphite, no? Same graphite only. It's a big log. In pencil, it is only 1 mm diameter. Here it is 600, 800, 500 diameter, and length of 3 meter, 2 meter. You have to machine this. It was a very interesting project that time, and I was there for a 1 week time to guide them to machine. It's a complete automation. From foundry, it will come on a roller, then it will get load automatically. But only thing is very dusty because of graphite. See, it's auto loading systems. Then it gets into the machine, where you can see all these machining happens. Okay. Then it comes out as a goods. The final goods will be looking like this, machined. It will be looking like this, final goods. Okay, these are all the graphite areas. And this is a recent project which these are high torque actuators, where these are all components with a cast iron graphite rich self lubrication. And now to achieve this profile, which in 2019 Imtex, somebody has quoted 4 crore, 5 crore rupees machines. The customer, an opinion customer, no, I cannot invest so much. I have a project in hand, but I am not able to do it. Then myself and our MD sat together, we worked out and how we can achieve these dimensions. Because this moves at a speed of 300 mm per revolution, 320 mm per revolution, 450 per revolution it moves. But length is very short. Now if there is any small arc second variation, your end point will come wrong. Then your mating points will not come properly. So now we worked out on drive, we worked out on axis, we worked on acceleration, deceleration, dampening, everything. Finally you have succeeded on this, and we supplied this machine which is costing 60 lakh rupees. And working from last to one machine working from last to almost all 1 year 8 months, another 2 machines working from last January. Not a single day issues now. Because of all these believing theory. If there is a 5 arc second error in a spindle positioning, what will happen? Trajectory. The trajectory where it will go. We are all worked out, and we have supplied a machine with special tool making everything. Now customer is making at 1/10 of the cost this component, which he was doing at 100 rupees, now he is doing at 15 rupees. Same component. And same component running on imported machine for 76 minutes. The machine cost 2.5 crores. Now on our machine it is running 59 minutes, which we supplied 60 lakh rupees machine. Because we focused only on the purpose. Accordingly, we fit the equipment on that, it's working fine. Customer is very happy. See, this is where we have to engage with that. See, these are all, we are applying our engineering. We know some fundamental. If you never apply, no use. That is where the believing theory. Now you can see this is one of the miracle change, one of the biggest company in India, Asia, second largest making flanges, stainless steel flanges. These are open forge. There are fitments. Here you can see these are fitments. You can see this flame, same. There is a welding here, welding will happen here. See, now this starts from 120 kilo. There are small also there, they do up to 1.5 ton. Now they are having a big issue in these components of machining. See, now I took this in like an academic way. Don't think you are industry. I took in academic way. What is material, how chip break happen, what is work hardening, what is your quantity requirement, what is your cost per component, how we can make profit. All we have done like a class, it is like a commercial class, technical class, everything we handled it. Now very successful project. This customer is investing every year 10 crore on us. Every year. And you can see this is a very interesting project, this one, which we have done recently in Gujarat. And this project, quickly I'll show this. I think few slides. See, this is our project report. You can see this is the input material, and the problem earlier they are facing at different machines are this. See, chips are not breaking. That means you are not going through conveyor is breaking, all the machine will get stuck, the damage will happen. See now, and they are taking the chips from the front. See, this is a material property problem and cutting tool, how to use it. Then finally, this is the input material. Finally our team entered and we worked on cutting tool and cutting methods, all those things. Now you can see There is no chips here, all broken, small. Then it can go through conveyor easily. You can see this now. After at the end of the operation, totally looks fresh. So now with this, cycle time remains same, but downtime has eliminated. Earlier they are producing 10 per day, now they are producing 17 per day. Same machine, no difference. But they had a project for a line of 11 machines, big machines, it cost 1.5 crores each machine. Now after our study, it come down to 7 machines. See, now they saved close to 4.5, 5 crore rupees, almost 6 crores they saved. See, this is where we need to work in engineering in a different way, how metal behaves. All these things helped us to come out of the problems. Understanding metal. Okay, now these are all PTFE. PTFE has a big role in our industries, mechanical seals, valves, even we use on our household equipments also, you can see this. These are PTFE. Without PTFE nowadays products, I not believe, you cannot imagine. The polytetrafluorourethane, either you get turkite material. In industry we call it as a turkite for guideways. Without turkite you cannot assemble the machine for guideways. See, now other areas also handled where the rollers, bearings, these two are the anti-tank bullet. Where the tank, this bullet can penetrate up to 250 mm thickness of steel. It can penetrate. And it comes with so many other assembly on this that we cannot show it actually because of NDA non-disclosure agreement with customers. And this is a tungsten material. We have to machine very critical machining, tooling, machine rigidity, everything you need to look. This we work for import substitution. Earlier they are importing the Russia, these components for ordnance factory Trichy. I visited because I was knowing some people from many years, 92. Then we said we'll take up this project, we'll do it. But better they cannot give just like that. Then somehow we purchased from market this equivalent material, we machined it, we shown them this is possible. Then we got a huge project for us. We own the project. Now it is running in their factory now, no issues. And non-metals, and these are all like in Switzerland and all those things, no, like in front of your house you have an ice connected or something, you want to break it, hand moving machines, no. These are all conveyors, ice breaking conveyors, and this also we worked out on this machining, because earlier they are telling it's a very expensive to machine and some costly machines. Then we brought down to our smallest machine which can cut like this. Now one of the customer in Nalmangla or the Kanakpura road, around 30-35 machines they are using to produce this. Now the cost has come down to 1/3 almost all, which is earlier process and our process. Now you are cutting it like a thread with a button tool. Now this is non-metal. Anyhow, you are supplied many machines for non-metal industries. Either it's a medical field or either it's other industrial field, mechanical seals. See, these are all mechanical seals. Maximum in India, any mechanical seal company, they use our machines. Rubber, even PTFE, all these things. And where they're all metal used, I think generally you all know, they're all areas. Even die mold, I need a D2 material. Medical, I need a material. Defense, we need a different. Everywhere we need different materials. So now, how do you shape that material? The tool is also important. See, now the metal has a big impact on our human life. That's where we need to serve humans through technology. And these are the few videos, and already you have seen those videos, where we give different automations for different materials. And next, ultimately, everything ends up with money. Right? Now, you cannot do everything charity. Suppose sometime we need money for our knowledge also. I have not given any material physically, but people pay for our knowledge also. And somewhere else we give material. Just sometimes we say, sir, 1 kg steel, no rupai, idikya 500 rupai andre. That processing cost will cost 350 rupees. Then I need 100 rupee profit. You know, some people say, sir, 1 kg ishtu anta holtira. The processing will cost. I am using 1 crore rupees machine to machine it. See, that is where some people are not aware of it. That's a problem actually. How it costs. Now you need to get into this economics also. That's what called metal to money. Okay. And now this is about metal. I spoke some of the things where it comes. The next quickly the few slides, the way ahead for humanity through technology. See, now this is not a technology. This is simple just for an orientation, and we need to be kind on our profession always. Please display your professionalism very honestly, whatever it may be. Correct, no? And you need to be kind on personally always, and empathy and sympathy, whatever it may be, and understanding society. Then you need to be kind on your family always, because that is the first place to live, correct, no? Where your family motivates you, it is 100 times powerful than anybody else. Even if I motivate, it may not impact you, but your own parents, your own sister, your own brother, your own family members encourage you, you get 100 times energy. That's very, very important. Then society support is very important. You be kind on society, be kind on nature. Because today what is happening, nature disasters, all human-made disasters, we can't do anything because population increasing, people are going everywhere, pollution is increasing, people are occupying place, correct, no? Some disaster will happen, but somewhere else we need to see how we can come out of that, okay? And ultimately all our practices should help in good health, good culture, and help us to think better, qualitative time, qualitative response time, and quality reactions, then again responses, then improve approach to grow, all these things, safety and good environment, nation building. Certain policy should be there, otherwise you don't know. Suppose you know 4 type of people go to gym. Gym is common. Somebody go to gym for reducing weight, somebody go to gym for gaining weight, correct, no? Somebody go to gym for getting shape, somebody go to gym for retaining shape. So now gym is common, dumbbells are common, weightlifts is common, push-ups, everything is common. But what makes difference? Your lifestyle, your food habits, correct, no? Your way of thinking, then it will reduce weight or gain weight, whatever it can happen. And that's where, and always, whatever is silly idea, whatever it may be, if it is going to help society, please record it, please give it to somebody, it may make difference. Because I learned this from my parents, where we can share. Even from last 35 years, I developed a course called LPM, Learn Practice Master. It is transformed 50,000 of youths, more than that in India. Around more than many thousands youths are becoming entrepreneurs today. In Bangalore, Pune, you can find 25, 30. Kolhapur, 100. Pune, 100. Go anywhere else, my LPM students are today entrepreneurs. But they are all 10th fail, 7th fail, 8th fail, auto driver, helper, security guard. Today they are entrepreneurs, they drive car, they have own building, everything. See, now we need people with interest, we don't need engineers. But ultimately every field, I cannot say engineer you don't need. Thinkers also we need. See, now what is happening? The engineering they do, they never apply engineering, they do something else, then who will do other work? Somebody has to produce component, no? Then we took this decision last 25 years back, we developed such people. See, this fellow was an auto driver, he was coming for a luggage dropping in our factory, he undergone training, he owns his own factory today, he owns 8 machines CNC today. He is our MD, give certificates, you can see. Chennai I tried, this is a Chennai, this is all, in this batch I think almost 6 people are entrepreneurs today, in Pune alone. So why we need? Because I think in nature you might have seen bird. It takes the fruit, put it into tree. In winter it is useful, correct, no? So now we have to imagine after 20 years, if nobody produces this component, then where we will be? Generate now itself. Encourage now itself. We target. See, this is how we worked out, implemented our ideas. My knowledge converted into Kannada, English, Telugu, Tamil, all those things. We taught the people. They become operator, they become setter, they become programmer, they become entrepreneurs today. Many. So this is where you do it. Even if it is silly idea, please do it. And even management also, I did a lot of courses. And the last word here it is, internet is a good source to learn a lot of things, but don't waste time on that for unwanted things, okay? And anywhere you want to learn, in your home also, please manage quality management. How is your cupboard, how is your shoe rack, how is your this, how is your that, everything you manage it. It's a very important thing. QMS is very important. Kannada ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ? ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದು? See, now we have discussed so many things, motivated. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? Yes, today itself I will start spending 1 hour a day of learning, 1 hour a day of understanding, 1 hour a day of writing, okay? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ then it's a beginning of end, that's all. I learned this my father actually, he was telling. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಪೂಜೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡು ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ಅಲ್ವಾ? See, now these are all the very important things. Everything starts with opportunity. Every opportunity is not a cakewalk. There will be a problem, there will be a solution, there will be a success, there will be a failure, then identity crisis, recognition crisis, financial conditions, then family and society. We are ending up with that, correct, no? Finally, at the end of retirement, you have good money, good car, everything. then you start thinking everything is there, but status is not there. Everything is there, so family status is not there, social status. That time you don't think of money, correct? No. See, that is where it starts with a different cycle. Then how do you manage it? It's left to you, but it's very important. Okay. Then this was my dream, which I wrote article in 2014. Today, what I am doing topic, it is there in my presentation, write-ups in roundtable meeting in a Modern Machine Tool magazine. 2014, I wrote this article. You can see here, this is me here, and I wrote about industry institute collaboration. From that day, I am voluntarily 20% of my time utilizing for industry institutions. So here, that time itself I wrote here, I told, if we can encourage youth to involve in manufacturing, we can grow, our growth agenda can be a third largest by 2030. And I put that time is 1.86 trillion economy, just I put 6 to 7% in Excel. I pasted there in my meeting. Everybody said, no, India is always stable like this only. No sir, all countries are already saturated. We have an opportunity, why can't you do it? Now luckily I am very happy, by 2025 we have come to 4th largest. And it is matching with my mathematics almost. Okay. But we told only manufacturing can bring big money inside the country. Otherwise it won't. Say, I can sell steel at 100 rupees. You convert into a product, it will become 1000, which is important. Convert into product, correct? That is where I told focus more on NPD, life cycle management and R&D. These three should be taught in institutions. How one can generate a new product. How one can look for the life. How one can look for the R&D. What is that material? Why I have to use? What I have to use? What liquid I have to use? What lubrication I have to use? See, these are all very, very important. This should be a faculty-driven. You can see faculty-driven projects. It's possible actually, but now manufacturer has made a big impact in India for bringing this economy. And focus on single points and learn more. Then I think these are things you know already. If you want good future, now I am 58 age, you may be 20, 22, something like that. But after 40 years, what do you expect? That you have to create it. Already we have created something, you have to create next. Then you should have strength to do that. Otherwise, impossible. You have to imagine after 10 years, after 20 years, after 30 years, after 40 years, what kind of a society you expect, what kind of technology you expect, what kind of safety, security you expect. You be a part of it. Okay, it's possible. Then think of either this or this is negative, this is positive. Okay. Then the biggest, whatever we discussed today, the only thing is, if you change your routine to align with your engineering technology, this is the biggest weapon, secret weapon for transforming. Okay, now whenever in village you are going school, everything, even high school also, you come home, throw the bag, go to the well, swimming, all those things, playing. You never thought you will become an engineer, I will be standing here, I will go to America, I will go to England, I will go to somewhere else, I will go to China, I will do this, I do that. We never thought actually. These are all, as we come, we know there is an opportunity, we got ready. There is an opportunity, we got ready. See, that's the possibilities. You cannot imagine all those things, but this change routine is a secret weapon. How do you manage a day? Correct, no? That you think of, that will make a big transformation in you. You are 5-6 times. Even I proved this in 1988 itself, which I was getting some salary. I changed my routine. I started earning 5x straight away. I became an entrepreneur. I became a solution provider. Because which company pay monthly salary, then I started earning weekly, per day, 1 hour, 2 hour, everything. So it is possible. But the only thing is you have to change your routines. How you get ready, how you use time. And next is, Ratri ella Ramana Keli, Belige Sita Ramantarala Age. Now you heard all those things. Finally, you need to see the success factor is your approach, your decision. Now, please take your approach right, take your decisions right. You can become a very successful person, very happy person. Success is not just like measuring something else. Your accomplishments are your success. Failure is also accomplishment. Please understand. Okay. Then never too late, because don't carry mistaken assumptions, because this is the biggest problem. I can say, I should not say that, it is a DNA problem in India. We all mistaken assumptions we carry. Oh, ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ ಅವ್ರು ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿಡಿ. ಓ ಇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ ಇವ್ರು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಿಡಿ. ಓ ಅವ್ರು ಏನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದೆ ಬಿಡಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಆ ಥರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಟನಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಟೈಪ್. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಟನಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಟನಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ, ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಟನಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಣ್ಣು ತೆಗೆದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ, ಅದಾದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ನೋ? ನಾವು ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ನೋ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಬಟ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಓಪನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡಿಸೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಟು ದ ಗುಡ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡಿಲೇ, ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟನಾ? ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್? ಬ್ಯುಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬರೋದೇ ಕಷ್ಟ 8 ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಟೈಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience, and hope you all enjoyed this session. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you for this wonderful session. Please. Thank you for wonderful session. I think you have got some insight about machine tools. Okay, it's a great talk. So now we have one more resource person, Mr. Naganan from EDS Technology. Okay, I request you to please join on that. Please. Yes, sir.
Drive a car is Mysore better. Simple.
We'll have small tea break and we'll go for one more short session. After that, we'll go for lunch. On the ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. Join for tea.
everything together at the end.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ವೀಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಇದೆ.
ವೀಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಏನು ಅದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ.
ಹಾಂ ಸಾಕಲ್ಲ.
Okay. Finish this and we join for lunch by right.
Good morning all. So how many of you here are from mechanical division and how many of you are from civil? Mechanical? Oh, good. Okay, civil. Great. Really great. Okay. In which semesters you are currently? Is a mix and match? Fifth? Okay. From? Third and first. Fifth also? Okay. 1, 3, 5. Great. Okay. So you might have started learning some by now? Strength of materials? Okay. How about CAD? Okay. How about like AutoCAD or any drawing and then 3D CAD? Okay. 3D CAD you have learned. Okay. Good. There is one question for you all. Like how many softwares you know in terms of 3D modeling, designing? Okay, quite a good number. And how about the CAE, computer aided engineering solutions, analysis solutions? Okay, FEM. Have you underwent FEM by now, or is it in 7th semester? Okay, it should be in 7th semester. Okay, great. In continuation to what Kashinath sir was explaining, the application of the learning, the readiness into the industry. Currently, it is Industry 4.0. That the industry in India is growing very rapidly. Like how we are ready in terms of taking the roles for the designing perspective or analysis perspective is the center stage. When I say the industries, like we are looking towards the engineers who are well equipped with or ready for the Industry 4.0 that will help us to motivate them to do their designs. Okay, so what is the current requirement in terms? Like when you have a brain child, that is your design, you can do multiple iterations of your learnings at your end itself, right? What if you can design one particular solution, and if you have to wait for a CA engineer to do all those processes, Okay, analyzing. What do you do in terms of like once you have the model ready, you need to add the material properties, you need to add the loads, boundary condition, you need to mesh that, and then you have the model ready, which will take quite a long time during your industry process. Like you may have to build the prototype of the same material, same design. You have to like do the testing, and test rig should be available at your end. So for this there is a long period of time that any of the industries are nowhere there to wait for that particular long duration. So what if we have both modeling skills as well as simulation skills at our own end, which will definitely add value for the growth of the component, country as well as the industry growth. So here where I can explain you the industry need in the today's industry 4.0 in India. So here where I'll show you like what are the descriptions here. What do you mean by the mod and sim here? Mod is taken from modeling, that is 3D modeling, once you have the data ready, and the simulation is the simulation, that is an engineering analysis you do. There is one concept always said that once you iterate, you can come across with the results. All like you might have seen that solutions like Abacus or any other FE solutions in the market, that you need to have one particular prototype. For example, this is your component. It is having a plastic as a material, and you need to have the material property, the design, and the application. Which example that you can clearly say is, like for example, this component which is working for some time should not generate more heat because it is a battery driven. And second thing, if it falls from certain height, it should not get damaged. The functionality of that should not get malfunctioned. So what we need to do, we need to have a proper design for this. Similarly, here where you have an automotive, to do this, you need to have multiple parts in this. Each part will comprise of its own material property. Some of them, by now you might have studied, some of them will be within the elastic range and beyond plastic range, correct? So once when it gets into the plasticity range, so it will not come back to its original shape or whatever. So what we need to do here is we need to iterate. We need to do that particular process with respect to change in material, change in load conditions, change in boundary conditions, and so on. So once we iterate, we will get the result. FEM is a solution, a numerical solution, where it is the one which will give you the result. But having said, on the other side, which is the numerical solutions, that what we are discussing in simulation solutions are approximate solutions. We need to make them appropriate, the best appropriate solution in order to match our results, the both tested result as well as the simulation result. So here where you have, if you iterate, you can analyze. So for this, a highly integrated with respect to the material wise or the component wise or the meshing wise, you need to have this solution. What if you are working, I heard some names from your side saying that you know about different designer solutions, softwares, right? And you have different CAE solutions. In order to integrate, it will take time. You may have to have an add-on associative interface to take the data from CAD to CAE without any data loss, right? In order to do that, like the cost, investment, all these things are more. So what if you can have all these things in the same GUI, graphical user interface, so that will highly integrate, collaborate the different solutions. In the convention method, when we work on any product, it will take a duration of time, starts from like maybe a week, or it may ends up in months together. But today in world, you can see that whatever the automotive industry or different companies that we have, they are eager to roll out their new product to the market. But there will be a lot of changes in that, lot of new features added to that, and lot of limitations or the glitches might have been fixed by now in the new versions. Correct? New variants, new versions, all these things are flooded in the industry. Like how my predecessor, Mr. Kashinath sir, was explaining predominantly the application of R&D, that is the simulation and design into the manufacturing, is the one which will accelerate the growth in the industry sector or segments. So here where that will take predominantly lot of time in order to where is the pointer here? I'm sorry. Pointer please. Light bರ್ತದೆ. Okay. Thank you. So here where the process is on. Start from the design, the CAD tool that you are using, and the material property and the connections, meshing, all these FEA process. In order to do this, it will require 5 plus 5, 10 weeks. What if you can minimize this time, like the CAD will be within 1 week and the simulation is accelerated within 1 day. How is it possible when compared to the solutions that we are using on premises or on cloud? So there is the solution which says about the cloud softwares. So now in the next generation, you have solutions which work on cloud. That means using the cloud infrastructure, you can accelerate your work and analyze. There may be different design of experiments that you want to do. There will be a base dimension, upper and lower tolerance for this. Put together like, for example, 10 different iterations if you have to do, it is human intensive. So if you can automate that using AI and ML, okay, that has been incorporated in the solutions now, so that it will take the driving seat and to guide you to get the result quickly is what the, in a nutshell. Another example you have. So here where you have a sheet metal component, different processes are there. It will take some time if we go with the traditional method. It says it is 3 days it requires to simulate. What if using the solution so that we can accelerate the application? So using the modeling and simulation approach, that you, the designers, can decide on these type of applications. So you can analyze this quickly and get the product quickly before the product launch. The prototype will get into building of the prototype takes place, and then the testing of that particular component will take place. So we don't have much time how we can accelerate the processes. During this particular application, once you join the industries, there are a lot many things that will also come into picture, because if you are in the design segment or the division, you may have to work with cross-functional teams, including prototype building, testing, materials, manufacturing, okay, by the time, including the shipment team. So by the time the product comes out, there are a lot of interferences which happens, which are all the need of the hour. So during that time, like what happens, like design uncertainties, like whatever that we do, it may be that whatever the design that we are taking, we have to do more of the iterations. And then second thing is the development cost. You may have to, like investments from your industry. One is the human investment on the human, that is human resource, and then on the software, and then on the manufacturing process. So this need to be like also considered. The development time, sir was also mentioning about the time, which is more effective if we delay, then the competition solutions will be in the market. So how we can accelerate that particular process? Work in silos. Today, even though we are all digitally connected, but still we are in the phase of electronic connections. So even though we are sitting next to each other, we may not be connected. We are working on some work, they may be working in something, but it may not be like integrated or collaborated. So there will be some version control, We are working today using some design with some versions, and some people will be working on a different version that will definitely clash, which will lead to the time, unnecessary development time and unused capabilities. We might have not explored many of the capabilities inside at all. When we do the stress strain displacement analysis, whether it is both linear application or the non-linear application, okay, the plasticities need to be considered in the material property. Okay, what if we have to do this particular scenario is which says that it is the total amount of time it is taking when we are working in silos using the electronic connectivity is like more than 16 hours. It's a process where the designer will create the design and it has to be tried, tested by the simulation expert, so that the analysis, the stresses, the life of that component, all these things can be predicted. So once that is done, then the processing will be like continuous process. What if we can do everything in a closed environment so that you can analyze this within one particular hour? So the time has more value according to the industry 4.0 and the investments that is happening, so that how we can accelerate. So here where different processes similarly like increase the design confidence. If you iterate more time, you will come to know like what best component that we manufacture and what will be the minimum most time that we can take, what are the different material that today we are looking for. India is also vouching for the rare earth material, because in order to have the longer life as well as to send that to the outer space and space applications. So that is one. And next, reduction of the cost, the development cost, reduction in development time, the powerful collaboration with different solutions, single source of truth, that is we are not missing any data, any revisions, so that the designs that we are taking is intact and one time correct. So this being solutions are being used across different verticals today. We name like whatever the industries or the verticals are solutions, regular solutions are being used. Like for example, composites. India has decided to collaborate with Russia in order to build the passenger air vehicles, aeroplanes in India in collaboration with HAL and the Russian counterpart. So the reason why is somewhere like if we depend on some industries like Airbus, French oriented, or if it is the Boeing, US oriented, then there may be multiple sanctions. So what if we have an indigenous solution within us, will definitely boost the requirement. So here where that will contribute. Another one key important thing that everyone is looking today is the data security. What if we have the solution which is even though used in cloud in order to process and analyze, which will have the security wise, so the data will not go beyond our industry or our India. So that will all definitely contribute here. Multiple solutions are there. So different, like as I was mentioning, starting from a component, a fastener component, maybe the assembly, the system level, subsystem level, full vehicle level, different types of analysis are needed to analyze. So there are multiple solutions, like starting from your harmonic analysis, natural frequencies, or implicit analysis, like stress strain displacement analysis. Similarly, like in all the components that you are looking for different material analysis, this particular solution can contribute to accelerate your work in doing this. Like starting from engine, then the thermal drying out also comes into picture, the gaskets, the rubber components, all these things. Again, the full vehicle that you need to do the crash test analysis in order to get certified. Okay, this certification is more important before you roll over your vehicle onto the roads. So these tests are done in certain regulatory bodies, so they use this particular components. So each and every assembly or the component that you are using will definitely add value in terms of analyzing. Similarly, anything with respect to CFD applications you do, like the thermal, the pressure, velocity or temperature that you are looking, what should be that particular acceleration that it requires to do. The temperature setup is another one thing need to be accelerated to wish. So similarly, you have anything on plastic injection mold applications. So any plastic components that we do, like it's the molding components, we need to see that how the component, once it is cool, like it is made to cool, that it should retain its shape beyond, so that how the application of mating components can be seen in. Similarly, the machine components, today the same this particular analysis can be done on certain components in what do you call the stents, medical stents, medical equipments, so that these type of components will go into the human body and it should have that life completed, okay, so that without any hindrances. Like for example, in removing the fat contents in the like heart, veins, these type of stents are used in order to like accelerate that particular without any much precision processes. So these are all some of the solutions that we can look in. Here where a complete car body you have, like multiple processes will be there, starting from the BIWOs and like plastic cutouts, lot many things. There will be the process, that process will take in order to accelerate that work, as I was mentioning, starting from a component or a very small component to the complete assembly level, which includes multiple times, like we have to mesh that. How about like accelerating that work by automating the mesh? If you do the design change, again the extra, the material that we are getting, we need to accelerate with the mesh. This is the one solution which will definitely accelerate. And the material, we may have to try test with different materials. The assembly contains different materials again, the steel, aluminum, plastic, rubber components, so and so. So we need to give that hyperelastic material, viscoelastic material, okay, the material properties required to accelerate that analysis. So there are multiple fasteners again. You may either go with the weldment or other fasteners, rivets or any other fasteners, so that the vibrations in that particular component, that side, should not be more, or it should be within the limited expected limitations. So this will definitely accelerate in doing the analysis side. So here where once you have the mesh and the fasteners are included, you can further use this analysis for doing the applications like different tryouts in testing. One is the complete vehicle model mod shapes, in order to understand where, when even in the idle conditions, no more vibrations, noise should be there in the component, in the entire assembly. So these components or the assemblies will definitely help you to do the analysis. You might be knowing that these are all the different color conditions, color codes are there, starting from red color to blue color, red being the highest and blue being the least portion of that particular required output. Again, another one important thing that I would like to bring to your notice, like you have CATIA for doing the designs, and thereafter you have the analysis to be done. But before doing the analysis, like for example the brake, there are, like once you apply the brake multiple times, then the heat generated will be more. In order to have this particular component work successfully and complete its tenure of whatever the life, this has to be taken care, so that the assembly will have the proper outlets. Like you have lot of vents here, that vents need to be calculated. Currently the different type of analysis that will be done on this particular assembly. Once the assembly and finding out where exactly the portions are getting any issues, that can be addressed out, and then it can be re-looked into. So you may have to do the analysis by changing the dimensions of these particular holes, the air vents, in order to drive out all the thermal, the temperatures, heat air, so that the cooling of this particular process will be very, very fast. Okay, so here where the model analysis again on this component, the assembly has been done. So you can see that how fast the analysis can be analyzed here where, and you can see that the different portions of the brake, different components of the brake and its associating interface and the relationship between the multiple parts are also taken into consideration. Once the analysis is done, then it has to be taken out to find out the different vents, its positioning, placement, dimension, all these things matters. Okay, once we have this, the drive out, and then we can do the analysis again, the parametric optimization what we call, in order to have the multiple parameters, like without doing the much change in the design, we can do automatic parametric optimizations. So optimization, here where you can see that the earlier component was somewhere full and later the component has been changed. The design of this has been changed. That means the saving of the material. Okay. Today the material is more important because we are going to sign some MOUs with the customers. So that's where we will keep that particular price of the material should be constant or very narrow growth over next few years. So how we can do that? By using these type of solutions which will add, even though we remove the material, the operation load carrying capacity, the thermal load, the structural load of this component remains intact. Okay, no changes in that, but we have saved our material, which is very important in order to see that particular analysis can be seen. So similarly, if there is, like today's world, EV is the more method that we are looking rather than the conventional methods. So here where the battery pack, battery analysis need to be done, the state of charge, state of discharge, because it has to charge very quickly and it should not drain the energy very quickly. These are all some of the requirements from the users. So here where you have the analysis, that different analysis can be done on a single cell or a cell pack, battery pack. Okay, different type of mechanical tests are required in order to have either in the EVs or in the phones that you are using. Okay, so different type of mechanical testings will be done in order to accelerate this work. Okay, that was one small presentation for you all to show what is that Industry 4.0 is looking for and the acceleration of this particular 4.0 and the readiness of the users is what the expectation from the industry wise. If you have any questions, please, I'll be open to answer. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take it. Thank you all. Thanks. Thank you.
Questions, Vidya?
खेल दे
Thanks for understanding.
राइट राइट ठीक है पर
Thanks. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask Sir Nagaran. Okay. Now this is particularly on soft because all the resource persons were already given the talk that's on complete and materials, machine tools, discipline, all these things. But this is completely oriented to software design because you need to have a little bit of skill. Otherwise, you cannot, because all knowledge is there and skill is under, it's a wastage. Both you have to manage. So this is abacus tool. I think it's one of the advanced one. Okay, you have to know about crash analysis in the automobiles. Okay, this is very much required for R&D engineers, designers in the machine and structures. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can. I will drop the email ID of Naganan, so you can write an email and you can clarify your doubts. So next session will be in the afternoon session. By 12:15 we'll join for a lunch. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೇಗನೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಬೇಗನೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಎನಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ದರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್. 15 will join for a lunch. By the time, just 5 to 10 minutes, we have a small casual talk from one of our participants, Professor Bhavya from SJCIT. She is from Civil Engineering faculty. Okay, she will share some of the useful thoughts. See, we have attended this 2 days workshop. Don't think that you are losing something, ಬಲವಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. See, you have to take, I know that all these all behind your 3rd semester, 4th semester level, 5th semester level ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But still, some of the, at least on 10 to 20% definitely you can carry this. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ 3 ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಗಮನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನೀವು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ರೇರ್ ಟು ರೇರ್ ಕೇಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ out of 240 colleges in Karnataka, hardly 10 colleges have received this funding. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ದ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಟು ದ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡಿ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ದೇ ನೋ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋದಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ NBA ಆಗಿರೋದಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಈ ಥರ ಬಂದಾಗ, ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಯು ಟು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಐಡೀಸ್. ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 6th ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಿನಿ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಫೈನಲ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಮೇಜರ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಎ ಮೇಲ್. ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟಾಕ್ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಮೇಲ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ES ಡಿಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ EDS ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜೀಸ್, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ನೀವು ಅವ್ರ R&D ಲ್ಯಾಬಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಳೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಇವಾಗ 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ 15 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಹೊಡೋಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಾಗ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿದಾಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಟೈಟಲ್, so why this is advanced materials for industrial application. These are all industrial applications. So you don't think that you may work in certain, it's a very vast area. So please, many welcome. So another just 5 to 10 minutes, madam is going to share some useful information. Just listen that. Then we'll go for lunch, and afternoon session will be from our Professor Dr. Chandrasekhar. It's on welding. It's a beautiful advanced welding. Okay, it's one of the emerging area. Okay. Then finally we have one resource person from HAL. He's a scientist come engineer. Okay, in HAL. He is going to share some of the aerospace related this thing. So make use of that. So ಇವತ್ತು session only 2 days. Okay. ಸೊ 5 minutes, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಲಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ವಿ, ಅರ್ಲಿಯಾಗೆ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಶೇರ್ ಸಮ್ 5, ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್? ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮೇಡಮ್.
property right. So what do you mean by intellectual property rights? Have you heard about this word? ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Any time? Intellectual property rights. Have you heard about it? Say yes or no? Okay, fine. Okay, if you have not heard, now I'm going to explain you what exactly you mean by intellectual property rights. So, before that, there is something called as NIPM, National IP Awareness Mission. So, this mission is a great mission of Narendra Modi ji. So, everything must be recorded and also must be patented. If we invent something, it must be patented, right? So let's see. Anybody own some property in your name? Okay. Are you owning your bike? It is registered in your name. Is it registered in your parents' name? Yes, ma'am. Okay. So property. Property is nothing but, what do you mean by property? It is something which is designated, which has some owner. Am I right? So for example, your dad owns a home, right? Your dad owns some particular property. Hope all of you are around 20-21 years age. You're not owning anything. Am I right, guys? Your phone is owned by you? For sure? Okay. With respect to property, we have two different kinds. One is called as tangible property, other one is called as intangible property. So what do you mean by tangible property? So which is physically present, you're going to call it as tangible property. So when which is not physically present, you're going to call it as intangible property. So physically present means you have building, land, houses and so on. So which is not physically present, it is called as intellectual property. So what can be an intellectual property? With your brilliance, if you invent something new, that can be called as intellectual property. For example, one of you write a great poem. So that is of your own, maybe inspired by someone, but it is not copied. That can be called as intellectual property. If you write some textbook, if you invent some small things, so you can get to know what are the different things you can invent in future. I'll not get into the theory part much. So with respect to IP, when you create something with your idea by using your mind and the brain, if you invent something which has having a good market value, then you can consider it as an intellectual property. Okay. So, what is the significance of doing intellectual property? So, it might be personal and also it might be a businessman. For example, if I invent something or you invent something, being a faculty member, it's a personal joy. I can proudly say that I have 2 patents with me. So I proudly say that Anusha ma'am is having 4 patents in earning. Okay? I can proudly say I have 1 patent in mind. Okay? So that is called as a pride of academics. If we are being in academic perspective, you can say that it's a pride for me and also it is useful for me in academics. If it is a businessman, or else can be commercialized. For example, if somebody designs something like this. family, the major task whenever we have a newborn baby is giving a head bath. It's a major task. You would have heard in your families that, oh, babu ke tale snana madbeku. Your mother or grandmother would have been considered as the greatest task. Hope you have observed it. Correct? Putani papu ke tale snana madbeku anta dodda task tara yochane ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ತಾತ. Right? So, but people who doesn't have anybody's support, who has to take care of their own kids, individually, they can use this kind of ability. Just think about the thinking capacity of the person who has invented it. Right? Somebody has a vision of inventing it. I'll go back to this. Yeah. So this is what are the different kinds of patent or intellectual properties we have. So, oh, everybody has seen a laptop. It's an Apple laptop. Why other people have not copied the logo of Apple laptop? Because it is protected. A single laptop is having n number of IPs. N number of IPs. What are those? A LED display is having a patent and laptop body is having a design. Apple sign, you can easily identify that is an Apple company's one, right? The same way, user manual. So as I said, whatever you script something, if you script something, it is considered it as a copyright. And then layout of IC, whatever the electrical layout they have used, that can be patented under SICR. So who is this? Michael Jackson. So can you bend for that particular angle with your bare foot? No, right? Because our center of gravity will be vertically downwards. If I lean that much only to a particular angle, you're gonna bend. If not, you will slip. So how can a Michael Jackson bend so long along with his teammates? That is basically made by this particular shoes. The shoes are made to shift the gravity of a human being. Right? That is patented. Is it not an invention? It is an invention because the natural gravity is shifted with an angle. Right? So that can be patented. So this is a patent application what you can see. Okay? And later, patent has a kind of limitations. So you can have a patent for 20 years. If you wanted to continue that particular thing, you are supposed to pay an extra fee and then continue it. Okay? And then, you saw this. See here, there's a band. This smart band is projecting what are all the features which is there in your phone. Am I right? You cannot carry your phone if you don't want to carry your phone. If you have this smart band, if you have your phone in your bag, you can see whatever the message you have got through that particular band. And then see this. This is very small clip that is also having a patent because keeping an extra clip at home is a tedious task. If you can fold that in this way and keep it in one box, you can store a minimum of 40 to 50 clips like that, right? And then, who's the first inventor? What was the first invention? The first invention was this fan. The first invention was this fan, but not with the motors. So, generally these are called as pankas. Whatever the leaves we have for the fan, we are going to call it as pankas. Okay? For that pankas, generally there are n number of percentage. Okay. 88 into 28, how much it will be? If it is 100 also, it is not more than 2,800 around. Okay. So imagine if some other foreign leg you wanted to give, the normal people could have not even offered it. The same way this vaccine too. And I'll okay. Have you heard about trade secret? What do you mean by trade secret? Have you had KFC chicken? Okay. Have you had Burger King? Have you had pizza? Okay. Each one tastes different. How? Because each one tastes different. How? Because the recipe is different. Okay? So when they have something, they're gonna protect it. The sense they're not gonna copy it by some other people. And hope everybody are using different kinds of shampoo bottles, different brands of shampoo bottles. Everybody are using different brands of shampoo bottles. Why not all the shampoo bottles are similar shape and size? Because each brand is having their own unique feature and they're gonna design. That's why each thing is designed and each thing is protected. And I have a small trademark. Hope you are aware of it. When you see that Adidas, you'll get to know. If you see that symbol itself, you say that it's a branded shop. If you see that particular right mark, you say it is Nike. Right? So trademark is something which is predominantly representing the particular brand. Right? So Crocs, you guys are buying it for 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. We are getting it in copies. N number of copies for 800 rupees, 600 rupees. So what is missing in it? The spelling of Crocs is not proper in duplicate copies. Right? How do you differentiate it with respect to the spelling? And then, so trademark, generally, whenever they have R around, it is called as registered company. Have you heard about geographical indicators, guys? Tirupati Ladu. Only Ladu we can call. Why are you calling it as Tirupati Ladu? Because it is a geographical indicator is taken for that. And Kanjivaram sarees. So we are getting sarees in n number of places. We just always say that Kanjivaram sarees are famous. And then we are having Mysore sandal soap. So because in Mysore is a place that exactly we're going to prepare it, that's why it is. And then see these are the other geographical indicators. Copyright. Whenever we heard this Kantara 1, whenever Kantara 1 came, there was a case filed against Rishabh Shetty that the music was copied from some Malayalam movie or Tamil movie, somebody. Yeah. But finally, Rishabh Shetty could say that that was his own music. It was not copied and got a clean check, and then they have come out with it. Might be it is an internal reading or whatever. Might be it is true. You're not sure about it, right? So and then I have a small task for you guys. Please find out what are the different trademarks which is present in it. Take it as a task. protection for painting by artists? What the answer for it? Is it copyright? Yes, it is copyright. The next, what protection the intellectual property created by fashion designer? Design. Is it design? It is copyright. Then, what protection that advanced disc brake for a bike developed by an inventor? Is it patent? Yes, it is patent. Good. The next, what does trademark protect? An invention, a work of art, logos, names and brand, or a secret formula? Logos, names and brand. Good. Then next, how long a patent lasts? How long a patent lasts? 20 years. Good. It is 20 years. Then, if you write an original story, what type of intellectual property gives you a right to decide who can make and sell copies of your work? In kate barbiಟ್ಟು geographical indicator ಅಂತೀರಾ? That question also. It is copyright. Good. Then, imagine, listen to the question please. Imagine a cricketer sets up his own company to sell his own range of cloths. What type of intellectual property can he be show that the cloths are made by his company? Trademark? Howda? True. It is a trademark. If a company develops a new technology that improves main product, what type of intellectual property can they use to stop others from copying the invention? Patent it is. Yeah. Intellectual property has a shelf life of a banana. Why this quote given by Bill Gates? One ನಿಮಿಷ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. What is the shelf life of banana? What is the shelf life of banana? Maximum of a week or minimum with respect to 2 days. If it is totally ripened,
ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
That's why he has got